Welcome back, watch fans. We have an amazing watch market update for you today. That's right, we are talking about the world of Patek Philippe 3940. That's right, the 3940. Shocking market news. That's right, the prices, you're going to be shocked at the price. We're going to tell you where the market is right now. That's right, it's unbelievable but true. Now, I told you guys that the prices will be going to 250. That's right, 250,000 American dollars, okay? And a lot of you guys didn't believe me. You were busy with Rolex and other à la poubelle shitter watches, that's right. And you ignored the Colonel telling you about the Patek 3940. The incredible market opportunities in the 3940. You know why? Because, look, a lot of you guys are tomato cans, you're crayon eaters, and window lickers, but we have unbelievable, shocking news. The 3940 has reached a new benchmark price. That's right, $250,000. That's right, that is the current price of, okay, caveat, a gilt dial. It's a gilt dial, full set. I think it's a full set, and it's being offered by, who is it? What's his name? The guys in Monaco, Monaco Legends. Yeah. And this was brought, that's right, this was brought to our attention by the esteemed Duke Omar. That's right, Duke Omar has been following the Patek 3940 market. Ooh, there we go. This is, maybe I should zoom out here. That's for who's our good friend in Las Vegas. What's his name? Mike. That is right up his alley. Hang on a second. Let's do a. We got to get a shot of this over here. Unbelievable. This pond is absolutely amazing. You got lilies here. Hang on a second. We're going to give you the full thing. I was passing by the other day, and there's actually lotus. I think they're called lotus, right? This is like the sign of enlightenment, right? The enlightenment, the lotus. Hang on a second. There we go. Unbelievable but true. The Lotus Enlightenment, Patek 3940. Look, this channel, we're here to bring you enlightenment. You know, I was telling you guys, Patek 3940, that's the blue chip watch. You know, that's the next benchmark. And multiple reasons. But anyway, look, Duke Omar has actually been in the market for a 3940. You know, listen, everybody always wants something that they missed out on. I missed out on a bunch of watches, and now I'm watching. And now the 3940, I don't know if he needs a 3940 because he's got some he's got this Metropolis, which is like actually a better watch. But, you know, the 3940 is, you know, so he's been following the market and he's been bringing this to my attention. Now, it's interesting. One of these gilt dial watches sold for 125 grand. At some auction in Detroit. It's De Mouchel's, yeah, which is more like it's one of these like regional auction houses that sells just whatever, you know, people's estates, art, whatever, crap. And they had this watch, and you know, I saw this because actually the Duke Omar sent me that listing also. And the dial, I couldn't tell, you know, like their photos are really bad. The photos are terrible. And I was thinking, was the dial damaged? Because you know, if it's a gilt dial, you're going to see it's a gilt dial, right? It's more, you know, it looks kind of like a champagne dial base. It's like a champagne dial. Let's just call a spade a spade, and let's call a spade, and a gilt dial is basically champagne. All right, but you know, they had the worst photo at that De Mouchel catalog, so I said, hey, you know, ask them to send you a good photo or condition report, because that looks, I don't know, maybe it's damaged or something. It's like, these people take the worst photos, but that's also the opportunity, because if somebody takes a bad photo, then, and if you actually see the thing in real life, that's how you can really get a bargain. Unbelievable but true. Okay, should we cross? No, okay. Yeah. Anyhow, so what's going on, my friends? What's going on is the 3940 market. So it sold for 125. I think it was estimated like 50 to 60. or something like that, and I think the Duke was bidding, and it went to 125. And now we see Monaco Legends in a private sale, or as they call it, private treaty sale. So it's it's an not an auction, but it's whatever, private sale. They're asking for 230 something euros or 225 euros, which is $250,000 right now. That's right, it's unbelievable but true. I mean, the euro is skyrocketing thanks to El Trump. I mean, the one bad thing I gotta say about El Trump is he's killing the dollar. He's killing the dominance of the dollar. I mean, the dollar is becoming like a Bukiakistani currency. It's unbelievable. But anyhow, so the 3940, back to the topic. What are we talking about today? More useless filler content. Let's get to the meat of the conversation. I told you guys the 3940 would be going up. Now I actually believe the prices will be heading to, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? $1 million. That's right, $1 million. I believe prices will hit $1 million. When? Maybe in 10 to 15 years, okay? So I'm just being realistic. It's not gonna happen tomorrow, but I do believe that the 3940 will at some point hit $1 million. That's right. And melon, as the Juan and Kino would say, back in, after those guys have been deported to La Isla del Cucaracha, he's still broadcasting that Juan and Kino. Those, you gotta give him credit. This guy's broadcasting from La Isla del Cucaracha y Basura. And, unbelievable. I just read, this is the Colonel's old neighborhood. That's right. Shocking, unbelievable, true. But as a youth, I actually lived right over here for a few years. Or no, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. I don't know. I think it was 2 years. Maybe we'll stop by, see what happened. See what happened to the estate, the palatial estate of the Colonel, El Palazzo del Colonel. How do you say el Palazzo del Commendatore? I don't know how do you say Colonel per Italiano, but il Palazzo del Commendatore. Hey, okay, you know what we'll do? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a scenic tour so you guys can see the palatial estate. This is what happens when you're a major watch connoisseur. And interestingly, this is actually, when I was living here, is when I began the watch journey. That's right, the watch journey began right here. The watch journey began right here with the first, that's right, the Rolex Oyster Perpetual and Patek Calatrava. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. The reveal. Oh, there we go. Establishing. This is what we call the establishing shot in cinematography right here. 19 East 21st Street. And this hardware store was also still there. This was like 1997. Let's take a. Let's see if we can see inside. Let's see if we. Jesus, building. The landlord. I'll tell you something. The landlord definitely has not been. Oof! Look at this. It's. The landlord there's a lot of deferred maintenance. I mean, this lobby thing, it looks, it hasn't changed in, how long has it been? It would have been 1997. 1997, roughly. We're in 25, that's almost 30 years. The sky, I mean, definitely, the exterior looks okay, but the, man, that lobby, it looks, jeez. Anyway, but yeah, it was a nice little place. In circa 1997, 98 era. Unbelievable but true. That's where the watch journey began. And here we are. Okay, back to 3940. Now, what's the lesson? The lesson is that I should have gotten a 3940 back then. Well, actually, no, that's not the lesson, because I think the 3940s would have been expensive. It would have been expensive. The prices, it's interesting, the prices, I believe, would have been like around, I'm pretty sure they're around 50 grand then. I'm pretty sure they're around 40, 50 grand. which was a lot of money 30 years ago. I mean, it's still money, but you know, that was, you know, so I think, no, the thing to have been buying at the time though was the Nautilus. That's right, the Nautilus in two-tone, 3800. I could have gotten the 3800 for probably under 10 grand. I missed out. I didn't know it existed. Actually, you know, to tell you the truth, I would have thought it was tacky because, you know, back then the two-tone, you know, I really, you know, again, the 90s, I thought, you know, two-tone would have been tacky. Gold was tacky. I mean, look, in the 90s, white metal was in. It was steel or white gold, platinum. You know, all the rappers were wearing white, gold, and platinum. And, you know, that's where the thing went. The culture. But two-tone was definitely out. The reason why I got into two-tone only about 8 years ago is because it was so out in the circa 2015 era, 2017, I should say, that, you know, it had to come back, right? Because it was out of fashion for like decades, right? So now it's back. I think two-tone will be good for at least a decade. I think we got at least a decade for two-tone. Anyhow, back to the 3940. So the 3940, I believe prices will hit $1 million. Prices are going to hit $1 million in about 10 to 15 years for the prime examples. So a basic 3940 now is pushing 100 grand. And this new sale from Monaco Legends, if they're doing a private sale at 250, that means, you know, it's an aggressive ask. I think it's pretty aggressive, to be honest. You know, these guys are a little bit aggressive, but I do believe that auction prices are going to be around 200 plus for that gilt dial. Because look, if a Dumouchel, which is a Bukiaki auction house, can get 125, imagine if it was at Phillips or Christie's, which gets like real people, and those guys take good photos, and then they get one of their wankers who writes up those catalog descriptions. You know they have the worst quality people writing that stuff. Every description is like exceptional, rare. It's iconic. Everything is iconic. Everything is iconic, and you know, I mean, they really have the dumbest people. I mean, like the watch department at the auction houses has the worst quality people. Honestly, it's got to be like, I would say in terms of intelligence, IQ, it probably goes like this. Okay, old master paintings. There you have like guys who are definitely super bright, like all high IQ. You know, a lot of PhD. You know, really top, very smart people. Classy people. Then you get down to contemporary art, or impressionist modern is, you know, a little bit less. Then you get into contemporary art, which is basically, you know, just degenerates. Or not as degenerate, but then when you get into the watches, that's like really just, you know, they just find just mooch bums off the street. And I'm trying to think what other departments. They have the jewelry department, they got like furniture, design. You got your modern, what other department do they have that's big? I'm sorry, let's get back to the topic. I keep veering off topic, and this is I know your time is valuable. We're here to give you third-rate content for a second-rate audience. so we have to respect your time. Okay, look, 3940. Prices are definitely going to be going up. Okay, so now you got this new benchmark 250. Definitely, we're going to see 250 at auction for a gilt dial, for sure. Now, here's what's great about it. I'll give you in a nutshell. What makes the 3940 market really good is it's really the best watch they ever made. I gotta say, it's like, I mean, there's that. Isn't it a 3450? I'm thinking, the Padalone, which is the previous Perpetual, the one from the 70s, which was beautiful. But the 3940 that's the best thing they ever did, right? So now, beautiful classic design, timeless. It's so timeless, especially if you get it in white gold. You know, it looks timeless. Now again, if I would do it over again, I'd probably get yellow gold, because I don't know. I just like what do you call it? I think yellows are good, but you know, the white makes it more timeless. Anyway, So what are we talking about? We're saying that it's the best one, and they also did a lot of them. They did, because the thing is this, right? You don't want a watch that is too rare. You don't want something where they only did, like, 20, I don't know, 100 or 200, whatever it is. That would be too rare. Not enough people know about it. So market can't really develop, and nobody has an interest in promoting that market, right? When you have 100 or 200 watches or 500 watches, it's limited, right? But the 3940, I believe they made just enough. So it's like, I think they made a couple thousand. I think it was what's the number? The number is a couple. I think they did a couple hundred a year, and they did it for, they did a couple hundred a year across all the metals. Let's call it 300 watches a year across 3 metals, and they did it for 10 years plus. They did about 3,500 watches, let's say. There's probably, let's just say there's 3,000 watches on the market, or I should say in collections, right? So what that means is this. What that means is there's enough there that people will, they know what it is. They're familiar with the watch. They know it exists. It's out there. It's available. And you have price discovery. Okay, you got price discovery. People, there's enough trades that happen. Every auction has a 3940. It's basically, again, it's like the blue chip. It's the blue chip of watches. There's probably, again, every watch auction, or I should say every major auction on the calendar, has at least 1 or 2 3940s. So, you get a lot of price discovery. People know what it is. It's like the perfect, in other words, it's the perfect asset. It's the perfect asset. It's kind of like, look, when you think about Picasso, why is Picasso so popular? Because the guy made 10,000, or even Andy Warhol, right? If you look at these guys, both of these guys did like 10,000 plus works of art across their life. And we're talking about paintings, mostly, let's say paintings, I think they did in the thousands, multiple thousands, plus prints. So there's a lot of material out there. I'm not going to debate the quality, the aesthetics, whatever. That's a whole different conversation. And look, they're both established. I think most people will recognize that they're pretty good, right? And historically important, whatever, and people will debate back and forth. But the reality is, both of these guys, Picasso and Warhol, did. If you pull up an auction record of Picasso and Warhol, you're going to see there's like 10,000 records across different medium. So that means you have a lot of price discovery. Everybody knows, pretty much everybody knows what something could be worth, because let's say you can see there's multiple examples sold in a certain size, there's a certain subject matter, there's blah 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 color. So you have different stuff that people can figure out. Okay, this is what it's worth. So same thing with the 3940. You got 3 colors. You got white. You got the white gold, rose gold, yellow gold, and then you have a gilt dial, and then you have a couple. I think there was a few rare dials. There's a couple of rare dials. So there's just enough stuff. There's enough stuff there for everybody, and like the real wankers are going to focus on the real ultra rare dials, right? Like, whatever, the Saddam Hussein dial. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows what these tomato cans are going to be doing? Oh shit! I missed the. Okay. Ah shit. I got distracted. I was supposed to go somewhere else. Now we're doing these high quality production videos, and we got distracted with the mission. Okay. All right, gentlemen. Bottom line is the 3940. The prices are going up. You have the perfect storm. You got enough material in the market for price discovery. You have enough rarity, so it's a beautiful sweet spot. And you got the aesthetics. It's kind of, again, it's really like the Picasso or the Warhol of the watch market. That's my insight for you. That's right. We're 20 minutes in, and you got this insight. I just told you That's the deal. It's like the Picasso and Warhol of the watch market, meaning there's enough material out there that there's price discovery. It's popular. The image is iconic, but obviously it's rare enough that it's not for the hoi polloi. So, which is most of you mooch bums watching this who are not even members. A lot of you mooch bums are not even members, and you're freeloading on this valuable content. But it is what it is. We're here to give. We're here to give back. We're here to give back to the community, to the culture. That's right. We're here to give back to the culture. Unbelievable true. Okay, let me know what you think. Leave your nasty and vicious comments below. We'll see you in the next one.